우리나라 광복절이
광복절.
우리나라 광복을 맞은 날.
I'm super excited, guys. I'm on my way to Shanghai, the city where 100 years ago the provisional government of Korea was established. And I'm going there to celebrate Korea's National Liberation Day and also to learn a lot more about it. Let's go! I remember this morning that I thought, wow, if that government wasn't born in Shanghai 100 years ago, I may not have woken up in the Korea that we know today, the Korea that I love. But why Shanghai? That's because of the March 1st movement, also known as one of the earliest Korean resistance during the Japanese occupation. The Japanese suppressed and hunted down the activists. So many of the Korean leaders went in exile in China, places like Shanghai, where they continued their independence movement. And I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to visit their office in Shanghai. Wow, this is the first time I'm traveling business class. It's amazing. Something that I didn't know. We are traveling together with more than 200 children that all go to the same location where we're going. These children are either descendants from the independence fighters, or they're from the countryside, or they're like from the lesser wealth part of society. It's really amazing to go together with them, and I'm really looking forward to have an interview or a conversation with them about Gwangbokjeol. And there it was, a small alley from which the provisional government was operating. Alright guys, I'm now at a very special building in Shanghai. We just arrived. So this is the building where 100 years ago the provisional government of Korea was established. And there's a lot going on, but it's almost impossible to film because there are too many people, so I walked away a little bit. I've also been inside already, but it's not allowed to film. But hopefully I can give you a small impression right now. 내일 어떤 날이에요? 여기 있으면 어떤 생각이에요?
슬퍼요.
여기 전체가 다 임시정부인 줄 알았는데 여기 세 칸만 임시정부였던 거예요. 전 이 전체였으면 약간 성 같잖아요, 캐슬. 이 전체면 좀 그래도 괜찮은데 불과 딱 한 칸에서 이렇게 사람들이 유명한 뭐 이승만 전 대통령이라든지 뭐 여러 전직 대통령들이 와서 이렇게 살았던 모습을 보니까 안타깝다는 생각이 들어요.
Try to imagine in a time where there was no freedom of speech in Korea because of Japanese occupation. Those people were really brave to set up a provisional government in Shanghai at that time. Because of their efforts, it's for me not possible to be in the Korea that we know today. Korea, you know, almost as far as their history goes, they've always been occupied by other countries, and now they finally can be Korea, you know. It looks like such an innocent alley, right? Many people might walk by this place and have no idea about its significance for the Korean people. But now we know better. It's time for my first impression to take in and enjoy the skyline of Shanghai.
안녕하세요. 키.
Nice to meet you. Ki? I am 197 centimeters.
대박. 머리를 왜 깎았어요?
머리?
네.
그냥 오늘 재밌었어?
네.
많은 게 섞여 있죠. 왜냐면은 나라를 뺏겼기 때문에 광복절이 있는 거고, 그래서 이게 한편으로는 슬픈 역사기도 하면서 우리나라가 그 나라를 되찾았으니까 그 부분에서는 다시 기쁘고 자랑스럽죠.
While I was on the ferry, I realized that sites like the Provisional Government Building of Korea is very important for the Koreans. Of what I could see, it contributes to their feeling of unity. Even though we might not always agree with one another, things like this keep us connected. It creates a bond. It's like the feeling Dutch people have on King's Day, or when the Netherlands is playing in the World Cup. For a moment, we are on the same side. Good morning everyone and happy Liberation Day. So today is the real Gwangbokjeol Day, and I think it's a really important day that everyone in Korea should celebrate, and maybe even the world, because it marks the end of the Second World War. What I found out today is that it's also a day that is celebrated by both North Korea and South Korea, and it's the only national day that's celebrated by both countries. We are now on our way to a park which is called Honggu. Something special has happened there. That's where we're gonna commemorate everything, so super excited. I think this is the building where we are going to. Let me quickly explain what happened here. On April 29, 1932, the Japanese military celebrated Emperor Hirohito's birthday in this park. Important figures from the military were present. Yoon Bong-gil, a Korean independence activist, entered the park and detonated 2 self-made bombs hidden in a lunchbox and a water bottle. He killed 2 important Japanese officials and later got executed for it. He was a young patriot.
왜 여기 왔어요?
윤봉길 선생님이 한 거 보려고 왔어요.
기분이 어때요?
좋으면서도 그런 슬픈 느낌.
네. 자, 왜 여기 왔어요?
광복절이라서 그 뭐 그림 그리고 뭐 그래서 뽑는 거 있는데 거기서 됐어요.
기분이 어때요?
좋아요.
좋아요? 왜 좋아요? 행복한 날?
행복한 날.
네. 네, 감사합니다.
가지세요.
이거 뭐예요?
무궁화 대한민국 국화예요.
중요해요?
네, 중요한 꽃이죠. 저희 우리나라의 꽃이에요. 우리나라 상징하는 꽃. 저기 보이는.
아,
우리나라 광복절이
광복절.
우리나라 광복을 맞은 날. 광복회도 무늬가 이거예요. 엄청 중요한 거니까 잘 가지고 계세요.
왜 여기 왔어요?
저희는 고려대학교에서 화동사범대학으로 중국어를 공부하기 위해 유학으로 온 학생들입니다.
그래서 오늘 광복절인 만큼 윤봉길 의사 기념관에 있는 여기 루싱공원에 기말고사 끝나고 바로 다 같이 왔습니다.
What do you want to say to the independence fighters?
네, 저희 윤봉길 의사님이 저와 지금 이제 같은 나이에 이제 순국을 하셨는데 이제 같은 나이인 저가 이렇게 큰 일을 할 수 있을지 정말 우리나라를 위해 헌신해 주셔서 감사하다는 말씀을 드리고 싶습니다.
네.
사실 뭐 역사 책에서만 보던 거를 임시정부도 가고 이렇게 기념관도 오게 되니까 괜히 더 이제 더 감동적이고 눈물이 벅차 오르더라고요. 진심으로 감사드립니다.
For all foreigners that live in Korea, and if you want to stay there for a longer time, it's really important to know what kind of holidays they have and which days are important for the history of South Korea, because if you really want to know a country, then you also need to know their history and the days that they celebrate.
I guess there's just one more thing for me to say. Seeing these children celebrating Gwangbokjeol is very touching. Eventually they have to keep the memory alive. It can strengthen the unity and we all need something to belong to. There's nothing wrong with being a patriot now and then, and I was happy to be here. I might not be Korean, but now with a better understanding of Korea's history, I feel much closer.
I'm really thankful and grateful for being here.
정말 용감하시고 정말 사랑스럽고 저는 존경받습니다. 저희 나라 지켜주셔서 감사합니다.
네.
지금 찍고 있어요.
네, 찍고 있어요.
진짜요?
네, 진짜요. 네, 안녕. 하나, 둘, 셋. 대한민국 만세!
구독과
좋아요.
좋아요 눌러주세요.
고마워요.
구독과 좋아요. 싫어요. No.